And the moment I entered in this arena where every single person was waiting for,
Basically, you are saying out of 600 only.
it was a bit scary experience for me. But
Now coming to the very important part, and that
the entire interview got conducted in a single day.
for the students, junior students like third year, second year, first year.
So I will just suggest them that be.
Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel Ball of Fire. Hope you all are doing great. As I'm a final year computer science student and I have been asked so many questions from my juniors as well as my batchmates that how to prepare for interviews, how is going placement drive in our university and many more questions. But I was unable to answer all those questions at a time, and that's why today in my studio I have invited one of my friends who has been recently got placed in a very good company with highest package till now from our college of Bharath University. We are friends since our first year and I personally used to learn a lot of things from him. And today from this video he is going to sort all your queries regarding placement as well as interviews. And I hope you all are getting excited for that. So without any further delay, let's give a warm welcome to our guest for today, Mr. Anmol Soni. First of all, many congratulations for being placed in one of the top companies. So let's start this session with your introduction. So here you go.
First of all, I would like to thank Irshad for having me on his YouTube channel.
Yeah.
So let me introduce myself. I am Anmol Soni. I am a final year BTech undergrad, currently pursuing my BTech from Bharath University, Chennai. And I have been placed in Value Labs, which is a startup based in Bangalore, and now it has been converted as a mid-cap company.
तो मेरे इस स्टूडियो में आके आपको कैसा फील हो रहा है?
सच बताऊं तो मुझे काफ़ी अच्छा लग रहा है तुम्हारे स्टूडियो में पहली बार विजिट करके, और मुझे काफ़ी ये चीज़ का एक्साइटमेंट भी है कि हम एक पॉडकास्ट पहली बार शूट करने जा रहे हैं. सो आई एम रियली एक्साइटेड फॉर दिस सेशन.
Wow, thank you so much. It's a pleasure for me that I'm having you here. Now I'll have some questions to him and he will be answering all those questions, and I'm definitely sure it is going to sort all your queries. So my very first question is that how did you come to know about this company?
So basically I got to know about this company from our placement cell itself, college placement cell. So basically we got an info on our Telegram group, which is built by our college itself. And there we got this info that there is going to be off-campus placement drive in SRM.
So what was the eligibility criteria, and also explain about the job roles for this company?
So talking about the eligibility criteria, first we got this info that for appearing in that interview, you need to have more than 90% in 10th standard, and then you need to have more than 85% in 12th standard, and you need to also have more than 8.5 CGPA in your BTech's aggregate CGPA, you can say. So that you will be able to appear in that particular interview.
So you mean to say that for this company it was needed 90% in 10th standard? Yeah. So you also can notice this point that it was very necessary for getting very good marks in 10th standard also. So moving to the next question, how many rounds were there and also how difficult it was for you?
So frankly speaking, before going to appear in the interview, the night before that, I just went through the interview experience to get to know how difficult it's gonna be for me. When I went through that, I was really shocked by the chances of getting selected in that. There were 1,000 candidates applied for the same interview and only 14 got selected in that particular interview. So at that time, I was like whether I would be selected in that or not. So at that time, I find it difficult and it was challenging for me, to be honest enough. And now talking about the hiring rounds, so altogether there were 4 rounds. It started from the screening round itself, which we can't consider as a first round, but it was also important as all the documents were being verified before appearing in the interview. Then we went to the first round in which there were aptitude and coding based questions. In the second round,
so you were saying that there was first round in which you were having questions regarding coding as well as aptitude. So can you please elaborate this thing?
Yeah, sure. So talking about the aptitude questions, basically the aptitude question consisted of the questions related to grammar and logical thinking as well. And apart from it, there were coding questions, and there was only single coding question. And that consisted of a simple pattern, you can say, means it can't be said as a simple pattern question for the beginners itself. Yeah. But I was quite easy for me, you can say, because I have been doing coding on a daily basis. So it went well for me.
So moving to the next question, so what about your second round, and what are the questions and what are the things which you have been asked in second round?
So let me tell you that the results were not announced just after the first round itself, because after giving the first round we got time for ourselves to have lunch, and then we came back and to the seminar hall where the results were going to be announced. Only 21 got qualified for the second round. And the moment I hear that, I was telling to my friends like, let's pack up our bags and leave, rather than feeling offended and sitting here. And eventually, at last, you can say the college name, the results were being announced, College Vice Manor. And our college was at the last, you can say. So when they announced my name, I was like, okay, now I have got this thing. So I would be going to the next round, and I have to make sure that I get this offer. Now coming back to the second round as you asked for. So basically the second round was a complete technical round, and it consists of questions related to SQL, coding, and apart from that they also asked me questions related to database and low level design. He was asking questions back to back, and I was in that confident manner, means I kept on answering, and at last he even asked me, means if you have any questions from your side. Then I asked him some questions related to system design, and he was quite impressed with that. So I had this thing that my second round got clear, and it was like, okay, I was waiting for the results. So that's how the second round went.
So basically you are saying out of 600 only 21 members were selected for third round, and I think it was very interesting to know back, because you are also thinking that whether I'm going to be selected or not, and these kind of things were going in your mind, right? So what happens in third round? Please explain these things.
Yeah, sure. So basically what happened actually, means the moment I got selected for the third round, then I was called in an interview room, and the interview was physically available there, basically you can say. He was just sitting in front of me. And the moment I entered in that room, that you can say the personality of that particular person was not that strange, or you can say strict. But the moment it got started, first we started with the basic intro of ourselves, and then the moment he said like, let's get down to the main business, and then he gave me a question which was related to sort. And it was like he gave me a question and he asked me what particular algorithm which you'll use and what will be the time complexity for that. And then I thought of like he'll be giving me to code it on some system itself. But rather than giving me to code on a system, he just gave me a piece of paper and a pen, and he said me just write it down as fast as you can. The moment your pen stops, the interview will get over. So I was damn scared, and I was like, let's do this, means this is the moment I'm waiting for. So I just started writing the entire algorithm, or you can say the entire code for that. And the moment I finished, it was like it went for 2.5 pages. And the moment it entered, and I was like, he's going to ask the next question. But that was the whole interview. And it was L3 interview, so basically he was just sitting there to raise the bar. Then he asked me questions like, if you want to ask any question from me, then go for it. Then I asked some questions from him as well. So that created an impact, and that's how it went for the third round.
So literally you were saying that you were given a piece of paper and you were asked to write all the codes on the paper, right? So it was unexpected from their side that they are going to ask to write the code on the paper. So what you have to keep in mind that it can be anything, like they can ask you to write code on a PC, and they can also ask to write on a piece of paper. So we have to get ready with all kind of things. So now moving to the next question, and my question will be like, what happened after third round, and what kind of situations you feel if you face at that point of time?
So basically it was like I was just keeping my fingers crossed, so that because that the interview went so well, and I was like pretty sure that I will be able to qualify for the final round of interview. But still there is like some scares, you can say there's some fear regarding that. So that's why I just keep my finger crossed at that time. But luckily I got, means you luckily can't say, basically I just worked for it, and it paid back basically. And I reached to the final round of interview, which was basically consisted of HR round. So that was all about it.
So I think you got yourself very lucky on that day, and you also don't forget that fortune favors brave. The one who is brave, luck also comes with them. So now coming to the very important part, and that is HR round, right? So if you are qualifying HR round, that obviously if you are able to make some impression on them, then you will be easily get into any company. So how was your experience with your HR on that day?
Basically I can say it was a quite wonderful experience while interacting with HR. So basically the round consisted mainly of communication skills. It's a game of your communication skills. If you are going to ace it, then it will be totally easy for you, and if you are going to stuck there, then that will make a bad impression about it. So basically I already prepared a doc for myself, in which I have mentioned every single question which is going to be asked in a HR round. So that's why it went really well for me, and they were quite impressed, and I was like, okay, the round got finished, but I need to wait for the result and don't have to be overexcited about it. So I was just patient about it and was waiting for the result.
So as I can hear from you that communication skill plays a very vital role in our interviews, right? And that's why I used to say my audience that you have to work on your communication skill. The one who is unable to communicate well. That what happens after that means once you have been selected for third round also. So what was your expectation? What were you expecting that do you feel that I will be able to crack this thing or not? How was your feeling at that point of time?
So basically, let me tell you a story. So the entire scenario was totally related to a movie. If you have seen a movie scene where there are interviews going on, so it was exactly similar to that. Every single guy out there were waiting outside the waiting area, and every single time means after 5 minutes you'll see a guy coming outside and he'll be announcing the results and he'll be saying who's got selected, who's got rejected. And the thing was, everything was going so rapidly that we are not able to judge others. We don't have time to judge others basically. We are just busy with ourselves, whether we'll be selected or not. So that was the entire scenario. But the thing was like, I was quite confident about myself, because the reason being that I gave the interviews in such a manner that I was the first one to finish all the rounds. So every single guy, I saw that they were waiting for their final round, and I was the single person who had completed all the rounds and I was sitting outside. So I was kind of chilled at that time, to be honest enough. But the faces which I was seeing while coming after the interview, I was like, if they have given something better than me, then what's going to happen? So because no one knows what's going inside the room. So that's why I was pretty like doubtful, you can say, but I was pretty confident on the other side as well. So you can say I was on the fence. I got best of the both worlds, but I was not sure about it. The way I started my interview and the way I ended it, it really helped and it really created an impact about me. And that's why I was able to crack that particular interview, and I got the offer on the same day. You can say not same day, in the evening itself. Yeah, so I was pretty happy about that.
So many congratulations again for getting selected for a very good company and with a very good package. And you can also estimate this was the highest package from our college. I am not going to reveal how much. So now tell us about your preparation journey from your first year itself, because we are very excited to know about your journey, because as you have been already elaborated so many things and it was really interesting, right? It was really interesting. So we want to know that how did you come from your first year to fourth year?
Okay, so let's start from the first year itself. So basically, the moment I entered in the college, I got to know that it's quite easy to maintain a good CGPA, or you can say decent CGPA in this college. So that's why for the first semester itself, I just focused on my academics. And at that time, I just got an intro about all the basic languages, or you can say programming languages like Python, C++. And I already had a good idea of C++ from my school days itself. So it kind of helped me. And then after the first semester, from second semester, I started doing a research about the job interviews, means how I should be prepare in order to be ready to means when I'll be appearing for the interviews in the final year. So from the second year onwards, when I got a laptop, from that time onwards, the first course which I took was a data science course, because I was really interested in learning about data science. So I had a data science course, I completed it, I had a good knowledge about it, I made a couple of projects regarding that. And after that, I just got to know that it's really needed to learn a proper particular language, that I had a decent idea about C++. So I thought of taking a course related to C++ along with DSA. DSA is basically data structures and algorithms. So from that time onwards, I took a course from Coding Ninjas, and then I started preparing, and it took like 2 to 3 months to cover the entire topics. And I was pretty sure and confident about the DSA after that. And once I was done with that, then I started learning web development from various resources, but I didn't have a clear idea about it. Means where should I learn from? And at that time also, I got to introduce to LinkedIn as well. So I started using LinkedIn from the third year itself. So I got to connect it to a lot of people, and they helped me out. And one friend of mine, she also helped me out in preparing for the resource. She provided me the resource, and she told me about how I need to prepare in order to become a web developer. So she really helped me out in the entire journey as well. So that really helped me in grabbing an internship in the third year. And I got an internship which in a startup which is based in Bangalore. It was my first exposure to the IT industry, and I got to know means in which areas I lack of, and I worked on that, and I got better at it after having an internship. And the other thing is that I was getting paid for it. So that was also what you can say one of the other motivation to work for that.
So I can hear that a lot of things in your journey are there which we can learn from, right? So as I have promised already to you that we are going to sort all your questions. So now coming to the very important part, and you have to watch this video till last, because we are now going to sort out all your queries, because I have been asked so many questions from my juniors as well as my classmates that how to prepare for our placement, how to prepare for interviews, and a lot more questions. So how do you prepare for your interviews? Like which kind of resources you are using? Let us know about all those things.
Okay, so let's get started with the first year itself. Basically, even when I was in my first year, I was a bit underconfident about the languages which I'm going to learn.
Yeah.
And it was the same, I think the same is going for the other guys as well out there. So I will just suggest them that just start with any particular language, so that you should be comfortable in that particular language in order to that. Apart from it, when coming to the development part, they have a lot of time to explore.
Yeah.
So it totally depends on their interest, whether they want to go for web development, data science, machine learning, artificial intelligence, or you can say blockchain is also booming right now.
Yeah.
So blockchain is one of the things they can learn. And talking about the second years, because after coming in the second year, you have a decent idea about languages. Yeah. So for them, I will suggest that you can start preparing for DSA. Yeah. You can start practicing on a daily basis, to be clear enough. And apart from it, they should also start with the development part, and they still have the time to explore, but it is good if they have started earlier. And now talking about the third year, as I already know, that third year is that phase where you have the internship season. So in order to be ready, you just focus on the projects or particular domain in which you want to make projects on. And apart from it, just focus mainly on DSA, because most of the questions which are being asked, or you can say the initial rounds, are going to be based totally on DSA. So if you are willing to crack a good company, or you can say a decent company, so you need to have a good understanding of DSA. And apart from it, you need to have a decent projects on your resume, so that it stand out. Talking about all the subjects which needs to be prepared in order to be, you can say, ready for the interview, you need to have a decent idea of any particular language like C++, Java. Apart from it, you should also have a good understanding of DSA. So in order to do that, you can there are a lot of platforms provided like LeetCode, GFG. So you can just practice all the questions out there. And if you are thinking of doing competitive programming, then you can go for CodeChef and HackerEarth, or you can say CodeForces. And then after talking about the core subjects, the core subjects mainly cover like DBMS, OS, and computer networks. But computer networks is rarely asked in the interviews. So basically you need to prepare for DBMS and OS. And for that, I'll suggest Lakshya videos, which is like the best quality content out there, which I have found till now. And it's available on the LPA channel, as you can already know. And I think most of the guys already know about it. So yeah, so that's it for the interview. And apart from it, now the trend has started of low-level design. So for that purpose also means I started learning low-level design from LPA's course, and it was really a decent course. So I got a structured and curated course for that. So it really helped me out in learning the low-level design as well. So that was a whole experience, my experience. You can say in a nutshell, I can say that's all from my side for all the years. And I guess that's enough for it.
So now let me add something in these all things. So first of all, I would like to suggest you all that you have to believe in yourself. The thing we have been already chosen, so you have to go with that. Like they are choosing computer science, and they used to come underconfident because of some coding languages are there, so they are unable to understand. But you know what? It happens with everyone for beginners. So you don't have to worry about these all things. You have to continue. You have to learning these all kind of things, and you have to have patience, because patience is the very good thing in learning any kind of things. So with these all things, we would like to finish this session. I'm very pleased to having you here. So thank you so much again, yaar. So there is one more thing that you can do, and that is you have to like, subscribe and share this video, so that it can reach to everyone who need this video. So thank you so much for watching this video till last. See you in the next video. Bye.